Okay.
Yeah, the watercolor is really a nice touch. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna say one thing really quick since we're on this logo.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, I was a botany teaching assistant. So I was helping kids study plants and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna say is, this is not necessarily chopsticks. This is also the stamen of the flower that comes out of the flower. That's why I could see the cleverness of this. If you're into flowers, if you kind of get how orchids work and all that, that's actually little things that come out of the flower.
That's fascinating.
Not just chopsticks. It could be other things too.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I saw chopsticks
because
because
depiction of multiple things.
Right. You and I saw chopsticks, but I think that's what Jessica does, though. I mean, on your dim sum, logo.
Yeah.
It's also like, was this a steam droplet? What is this?
I think the beauty of what she does, and also what we see here, is interpretation.
Yeah.
It leaves it. I loved how it does leave a lot of room for imagination.
Right.
Depending on the person's experience, how creative they think,
Yeah.
and how it relates to them. We want that.
Right.
I mean, that's what we want. Our goal here isn't really to do it so literal, Okay, the fun part. This is the fun part and probably the challenging part. Gary, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Okay, taking it a step further into the next phase to refine this, which is difficult because this is already very amazing. Do you have any suggestions or things off your head that you think can be tweaked? Just to be playful.
Yeah.
Just to get different variations, so we can keep comparing.
Yeah. Oh man, that's tough because you know me, I'm a big fan of simplicity. I'm a big fan of not having it complicated.
Yeah.
So I like the monochromatic vibe going on this logo. I like that. So I wouldn't add any colors. You and I talked about adding the dash because we have to associate people with the actual URL.
Right.
Man, that's a tough
one.
Yeah, like I love so many things about this because it's simple. I even love the slogan she added.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm having a hard time even rethinking that. Because that's how powerful an impression it leaves on me. Sometimes the very simplest things that you see, when you think about, well, how can I improve it? You can't improve on it very easily.
It's hard.
Because the first impression you got was that lingering.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a few days and see if I can think of anything.
Yeah.
But there's not much I can think of right now. There's not much I can say. Like if we went to
beautiful.
Like if we went to number 4, I think we were like, yeah, they could remove the Chinese and then it would be better, or it'd be simpler in a way. But I mean that's shot out. I mean that was obviously something we could do, and this was very simple and powerful as well, which I think says a lot about her work. It's just, it's not too cluttered.
Yeah. I just think it's very, very interesting how most people just gravitated towards the second design.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Effortlessly.
That's good.
Which speaks volumes, I think.
I mean,
they were just able to look at it and just really loved it.
Between 1, 2, and 4, I think we had such a good batch of designs.
Yeah.
That we weren't gonna go wrong with any of the picks. Honestly, we weren't. Right now, I 1 and 2 look kind of the strongest, but 2 is obviously a crowd favorite, which is very important to know. It says a lot.
It's important in the sense that, like, most people, when they see this design and they see this graphic, they have a good idea of what it is.
Right.
So it's not too abstract to the point where it's difficult or it's irrelevant or it's unrelatable, which all those things to me spells difficulty.
Right.
So you ready for my little tweaks that I wrote down?
Right.
It's already very hard to make this better,
Yeah.
but while we're at it, let's see, okay?
All
Okay. All right. Add colors potentially. That was one of my suggestions. Just to see where can we take this to, you know. Add some subtle elements to depict a box somehow. I don't know how that can be done, but
okay.
I don't know if it's enclosing it or within it, giving some different patterns.
Yeah.
You know, see how that works, just to see what kind of interesting design we can come up with. Remove the chopsticks. Replace with another element depicting Asian cuisine of some sort.
Okay.
I'm just glad I'm not the one designing it.
Yeah.
You know, making her life hard. Last one. This one. This comment is really for the last design. Because the last design really resonated with like spas, wellness centers, yoga studios, high-end Chinese restaurants. My suggestions or my challenge to her would be, how do you retweak this so that you disassociate with all those other places? And then making it more about food and the feel of food.
Yeah.
So
we could ask her on number 4 if she can remodel it or kind of adjust it to those criteria. Now this has a box format. These petals are arranged in a box.
Yeah, which I personally like. I think that was a really nice like convergence of a lotus petals.
Yeah.
But in a squarely way. But I love the curviness of this.
Yeah.
It's fluid. Oh God, this is gonna be so hard.
Here's something that could happen. Maybe she could take this frame and put it around this. I don't know how it would look.
I don't either.
But that's possible. That's something that she can do. I like this because it's also floral. These are kind of like abstract petals that form a box. This number 1 does something the reverse of number 4, right? This is like negative space. Number 4 is like the petals, and number 1 is kind of just petals around the box rather than make the box. You know, so
good point.
They're just very opposite effects, right? Yeah. But you could take the frame of number 1 and put it around, you know, number 2 and see what that looks like. Yeah. You can use 2 colors. You could use it in the same color.
We'll let Jessica.
Yeah, we're gonna have to let her kind of look at it,
deal with it, and come up with something even more amazing.
Yeah.
But I think we're like, what do you think? Like 95% there?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if we were to say this is it, I'd sign up on it. I'd sign up on it because you know me. Unlike you, we're very different. I think we're complementary that way. I'm not as scientific. I'm very gut instinct. So this feels good to me.
Yeah.
But also, since we have the luxury of a designer that can push the boundaries.
Right.
We can give it back to her and say, hey, can you do more?
Yeah.
And can you add, do a couple of things that we're talking about? Maybe she can, maybe she can't.
Yeah.
Because she's that good. You know?
It's almost like we're looking for her to convince us otherwise that this wouldn't work and there would be a better version. Which it already sounds impossible to do because of how beautiful and like just how floral and homey it feels.
Right.
But as you said, why not push the envelope just to see if we can get to another point?
Yeah.
But yeah, well,
this is such a good design right now. 95% is very, very. I would agree with that number of where this is at.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Now I can't take my eyes off of it. I think because of all the feedbacks that our friends have provided, and we see what they see now.
Yeah.
Because as you said, there is a scientific and statistical side to this, just to really survey our future customers, and get into their seat and see how they see this. But when it comes down to it, I totally agree. It just feels good.
Yeah.
Looking at this feels really, really good, and it feels like I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
It really resonates. I think with most people.
Ultimately, what we want in a logo, of all the descriptive words we've utilized for our name search. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
that process you engaged in, which was really useful.
Yeah.
We want relatable.
Yeah.
That's the word we want.
We did that. Yeah, right.
We want relatable. We want something that someone looks at and says, "Yeah, it looks interesting."
Yeah.
So I think this definitely fits that criteria.
Me too. Okay. Any closing remarks you want before we hit the off switch for our viewers? This is going to turn into a documentary.
Yeah, this would be interesting. But no, I think once again, I'm really looking forward to what she can come up with.
Yeah, likewise.
We're excited.
Okay. All right, everyone. Always a pleasure talking to you guys. Thank you for staying with our journey. We're still very early, but this is really fun for us, and we hope that this is also fun for you guys to just hear us rant and brainstorm and ramble on to get to where we want to go.
Yeah, every big company, it's hard to believe, every big company or bigger entity started with these little small conversations.
Yeah.
In offices like this, or garages, or restaurants. And people just, brainstorming and shooting the shit, and all of a sudden it's something.
Yeah.
So.
This is what we like to do too.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Hopefully, this will be a weekly conversation between Gary and I, with you guys. So, until next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all.
Thanks.